Warriors NRL fanatics here, back today with a video. Now I'm going to talk about the Gus Gould interview done by Sky Sports in New Zealand. As you guys know, he went over to New Zealand because of the travel bubble opening. He was allowed to go over there, and he did some things over there, and he did an interview on Sky Sports New Zealand, which was a great interview. He was very honest and open. How he talked about how he came across his role as the football consultant in New Zealand, how, the Warriors, got involved, and he also talked about how he wants to help New Zealand Rugby League grow as well. So not just the Warriors, but he wants to help the game in New Zealand as well grow over there. So it was a great interview. He said some great things as well, and he also talked about how Reece Walsh came to the club as well. He gave a bit of an insight on how Peter O'Sullivan brought Reece Walsh into the club. He also talked about Nathan Brown and the coaching, how he rated them very highly. I know a lot of Warriors fans like myself do not rate Nathan Brown, but we've got to be patient because, I think what Gus Gould said is spot on. Nathan Brown may not have had the best of times coaching in the NRL since coming back to the Warriors, but, he still did a decent job at Newcastle, even though Newcastle didn't make the finals. But, yeah, we've got to be patient on Nathan Brown. I mean, look, I know myself, I haven't been rating Nathan Brown's coaching selections and bench rotations lately, but let's be honest, we've got to give Nathan Brown a few years, give him a chance, and we got to hope that, over the past years, the Warriors have had so many different coaches. They've had Ivan Cleary, which is probably our best coach. They've had Daniel Anderson. They had Brian McLennan. They've had Matt Elliott. They've had so many different coaches, and the Warriors haven't had any consistency with coaches. After 1 year or 2 years, the Warriors get rid of a coach. And Stephen Kearney, obviously, I thought, he didn't do a great job at the club. I personally didn't rate Stephen Kearney. I didn't think he was a good coach when he came in. I mean, the Warriors, they bought Stephen Kearney in because, they probably rated him off winning that World Cup for New Zealand. But let's be honest, Wayne Bennett was the main reason why the Kiwis won the Rugby League World Cup back in 2008. So, we've got to trust what Gus said about Nathan Brown and the coaching there. He's had high words about Nathan Brown, and we've got to trust him and trust what the club's doing. And I think, the club is moving in the right direction. I know a lot of people might say, we're still not there and all, but, it's going to take patience. It's going to take time. And, you look at clubs that haven't had success. Penrith, they went through a disappointing period. Now they've found their way back to the top of the table, which is due to, what Gus Gould's done with the junior development in Penrith. He built up a bit of an academy and stuff like that for Penrith. And I think, Gus Gould, he's the main reason why Penrith got to where they are at that stage. And Gus Gould also talked about, how he worked with the Sydney Roosters and got them going as well. So, I personally think, Gus Gould has got a big say in how the Warriors are going to go for the future. I hope Gus Gould, can help us with our junior development at the club and, get New Zealand Rugby League growing, because it's good for the game in general that we have a strong Warriors team, a strong New Zealand team in Rugby League as well. So, he's not only there just talking about the Warriors, but he's also talked about, New Zealand Rugby League, even though he's a consultant to the Warriors, but he wants to see the game grow in a whole picture of New Zealand. So, I like what he said in this interview. Also, he also talked about, how the club's gonna, do something a bit more, to get these players to stay at the Warriors, because we know with the junior players, the Warriors have not been able to keep them. The Warriors have not been able to keep them, and they've been going to other teams in Australia. So Gus talks about how he's wanting to try and get these players, to make sure they can develop themselves into Warriors players and put on the Warriors jersey. So I personally like what Gus Gould said. I thought it was a great interview. Now, if you guys haven't seen it already, go back and check out, Sky Sports on YouTube, or I'll put the link in the description below of that interview so you guys can go and watch it if you haven't seen it already. But I'm sure most of you have seen the interview, but that's why I'm reacting and giving my thoughts on the interview itself. So let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts on this interview. Let me know how do you think Gus Gould's going to help this club moving forward, get it to the right direction, because let's be honest, I mean, the Panthers, you know, is a prime example. Like I said, the Panthers are a prime example of how they've turned it around lately, how they've gone to the top, you know, how they've brought in these very young players too. Remember Penrith, they had a lot of junior players come through. You know, you look at the under-20 system, you look at the New South Wales Cup team, they had a lot of success, and that's already translated to the NRL, even though they haven't won the premiership yet, but they're very, very close to winning another premiership, Penrith, and it's been a long time since they've last won a premiership. So, you know, there's promising times as a Warriors fan. You've got to believe there will be promising times ahead. I believe there will be. We've just got to find that patience to keep believing that we can do it. We can definitely do it. And I know we can do it. We definitely can. If we build the right roster, you know, we've got the right people around the club. I trust Cameron George, Peter O'Sullivan, our recruitment manager. I trust Mark Robinson, our owners. I trust these guys to put this club in the right direction. Even though, you know, it's taken a long, long time. The club's taken a long time since, you know, we've been able to find consistency, and it's still not there yet, but we've just got to be patient. Patience is a big word. I know it's a big word, and I know a lot of Warriors fans are sick of saying patience, but we've got to believe we can do it, and we have to do it for the future. We definitely have to do it, because this club's got the potential to be a top four team, top 8 team every season. We've got to believe it, and that's what Gus Gould said. Also, he talked about how the club's only made one finals appearance 2011. Actually, we made the finals in 2018, so we made 2 appearances, but you know, we haven't won a finals game since 2011. So, you know, that's not good enough as a club, but we've got to believe we can do it. We can be back to that stage for the next couple of years. I believe we can, and I know as a fan it's frustrating to wait this long time, but you look at Cronulla. Cronulla's a prime example. They haven't won a premiership in like a long time, and they broke through and won their premiership. So Warriors fans, let's believe we can do it for the future. We can do it. So yeah, that's my thoughts, you know, on the Gus Gould interview. Let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.